There are always winners, but in order for there to be winners, there have to be losers. And in this case, Hydra and Impact are two Zerg players. They are the losers. One of them will not be going home as a Code S player.
Yep, and the map is going to be Deadwing. We've seen it before. Very, very large map, but if you spawn horizontally, it can be a pretty close rush distance. Makes for a pretty dynamic map.
Yeah.
Really interested to see how a ZVZ is going to work out on this one. I feel like maybe if we get cross positions or vertical, it might be a little bit of a longer game.
I hope that we get horizontal, because I feel like it could be like a lightning paced ZVZ with a lot of aggression. Constant harassment at the third base. That would be really fun to watch.
Yeah, those are always really fun.
That's my favorite kind of ZVZ. The long, drawn-out ones can be really strategical as well. Wow, I'm a big fan of the horizontal. Looks like the game is already loaded, so we're going to jump into it right away here. Hydra versus Impact, Zerg versus Zerg. One of these two players is going home in Code B, the other to S. Or the other one possibly to S, excuse me. Sorry about that little mishap there.
And up here in the top right, in the red, Zerg player.
CJN2's Hydra.
The other one will go to S if they're good enough to beat Cure. Over here to the top left, in blue.
Axiom Impact.
Yeah, and these guys, as we were talking about before, they are at cross, or not cross, I've done this 2 times now, close positions.
Yeah, these are my favorite positions for these two to end up in. Pretty stoked.
Yeah. Their overlords are going to pass by, maybe kiss. And
I hope so.
Might have a never-ending love story here on this map.
Yeah, let's wait and watch.
Are they going to kiss?
We gotta get the zoom in.
Oh!
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 Ah. They just walked
wasn't
past each
meant
other,
to be.
pretended like they didn't know each other.
You know, they had that one awkward date, and just now they just don't talk to each other. They don't even look at each other. They can't stand the awkwardness.
I hate that.
Yeah. I actually had that in college once.
Yeah, with you dated an overlord?
Yeah.
Like that?
Me and an overlord, we went on a date one time. Things got a little bit too slimy for me, so I kind of just backed out of there. And
she still floats around your house sometimes, though.
Yeah.
You never look at her.
It's really awkward, actually. I don't know how to handle the situation.
Almost as awkward as that circle on this map being slightly placed off.
Oh god, don't remind me.
Kind of drives me crazy. It's okay in this matchup, though, because the creep will cover it and you won't notice it after the hatch is done building.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
But as for now,
just try not to look at it.
just try not to look at it. Try to think happy thoughts. So, much faster hatchery for Impact, and he goes into gas. He plays a very greedy build. But this works out for him in his favor because there's no aggression coming his way, no hyper aggression. So having the early lings out, the early queen, not going to be too important here for Hydra. So I was talking to the Axiom coach earlier, and I spoke to her about how Impact was feeling about ZVZ. She said pretty good, but she said he was feeling much more confident about his match against Rain. Unfortunately, that didn't work out for him.
No, got O2'd. Although he did put up a pretty good fight, especially in that first game. He almost made that all-in work.
Yeah, and then the second game he was significantly ahead for a long time.
Yeah.
Speed is started for Impact early on, and knowing these positions, it's going to be, obviously a lot of aggression possible. Notice they both scouted to close spawns first, because that actually lets you know, like on this map in particular, if your close spawns, actually so many different builds are just not really a good idea. They're too risky, they're too greedy. This Ling actually gets around here, escapes. These Lings are going to go and do the same, albeit a bit late because of his later pool.
Yeah. And all he's got are three queens, actually. He's consistently making those. Just have him at the frontier.
Gasless build, it's all you can work with. Have those extra minerals, so might as well make them worth something. And is he going to take a third? No.
Yes.
That is so greedy. But he has speed, and he knows his opponent's playing a bit defensively. He's even making a spine crawler right now out of fear.
Yeah.
Because he saw that gas with his overlord.
it's crazy because these positions are so close that, like, with that third base, if Hydra decides to go aggressive here, it's literally like 15 seconds. You walk down the ramp and you go over there. And, oh man, that one lane slips through. Doesn't commit to trying to get any scouting information.
Sees a spine and he's like, I am totally fine to greet it up. It takes 2 more gases. Start some more drones.
Ugh.
Wow, he gets through actually all the way.
Yeah. Will he see anything? No.
Nothing to see, but he doesn't know that. Gas is now added after the Ling dies. The Roach Warren he was able to identify, as well as the Evo Chamber, though. And now Lair is started.
Yeah. It's droning up. Both these players pretty even here, 42 to 42. Even though that third base is getting up pretty fast here for
he sees it too.
Impact. Yeah, he saw it a long time ago with that one Overlord that's to the south of it, but he just still didn't really react pretty fast.
He also is now putting his Lair up just a few seconds after Hydra's. So he's actually like in a pretty okay spot here when it comes to tech. He's making a massive amount of lings. I think he may even try to go and cancel his opponent's third base. Let's see, he's going around now.
He's got 20 lings to follow up this amount of lings, and Hydra sees it now. What has he got here? He's got some queens and 3 roaches and a spine crawler.
2 queens, 3 roaches, and a spine, not enough for this many lings.
No.
Well, not when the rest of the lings come together, you know. They're about to appear. They're coming around really fast here. And he's actually just going to try to sneak around here, catch these queens before they can wall. Nice! Stops those there. Transfuses can only buy time. And once those reinforcing lings get in, this is going to be a big problem. Comes in here, surrounds the roach, surrounds the queen. And this is just so many lings here. Even killing some of these drones. There's a lot of roaches coming out, though, and he's going to be able to defend this. Yeah. I feel like maybe getting the hatchery might have been the better choice. He is attacking that meanwhile. I don't know how low it's getting. And
he's getting pretty low.
He's doing a lot of damage here to Hydra's economy.
Yep. The roaches here for Hydra are just a little bit too late. They are going to be good for a counterattack, but
I guess the hatch didn't get that low after all. It's not bleeding that much. We didn't really get to see that shot of that. It's more important how many harvesters he gets, since he's really committed to that instead. And he's actually gotten the time to get his own roaches up at home.
Yeah. Did a lot of damage, killed those queens. Gonna hurt the larva definitely here for Hydra, even though he did make a couple more, so maybe he is okay.
That overseer gets canceled. Just gonna go ahead and scout Vanilla.
Vanilla Overlord?
I don't know.
Not the upgraded version.
No expansion on this Overlord. Does actually die. Just puts him closer to the supply block range. Well, upgrade-wise, +2's on the way for Hydra. That's one thing he really has going for him. A little bit faster. He's getting Burrow as well as Burrow movement. Whereas Impact with a slightly later layer. It's only about to finish his roach speed. But he's built a massive army. He may actually just move out to attack with speed and +1. Look at his supply in roaches. Much higher. 69 versus 50. Roaches versus roach, you know, that count is so important.
Yep, the count is super important, as well as the concave and the positioning of the armies. I feel like Hydra on top of the map, maybe working with a little bit less roaches and having those reinforcements a lot closer might be okay, as long as he gets a good engagement at the top of his ramp.
We'll see the upgrades tab again. They both have speed, right? And there was one upgrade difference between the two. I'm not sure what it was. I guess Zergling speed is missing for Impact. All right, here we go. This is a big attack. He's up 20 supply and roaches. And here we go. Pushing his way through here, taking the fight. It's not the best fight ever, but he's got a lot of reinforcements, so he might be able to barrel his way through here. He's cut so many drones to do this. And here comes some lings to follow it up as well. Those are going to help tank quite a lot. And let's see, can Impact actually break through, or will Hydra hold? Hydra has Burrow and Burrow movement to help him out as well.
But so many of those roaches of Impact are actually surviving here, and even though the roaches of Hydra are pushing out here, they are popping, we've still got so many lings with the follow-up to really help with the tank. The transfuses are going down. Will it be enough, though, here? A lot of these roaches coming out of that third hatchery especially will hold this off.
Yeah, looks like it. He's going to actually try to trade the best of these roaches as he can, but it's definitely been held. Now let's look at the damage here. Both of the players, you know, it's similar army size at 44 to 46. 49 harvests now for Impact over 45. It's only a 4 harvester lead, and because he was down in harvesters for such a long time, this deficit actually isn't enough to make up for how much money he lost. And now actually a small counterattack is happening here for Impact. I think he's just going to try to split his roaches, maybe do some damage harassment-wise. He's going to have to open up some new paths before he can do that. When he goes over there with his Overseer, he sees, okay, there's way too many roaches for me to actually commit to an attack now. He has a burrow, though. He has a burrow movement. He has that tech advantage. I want to see the production tab so we can see the upgrades. Pretty much dead even here.
We saw Hydra. He had the +2 on the way, but he actually canceled that mid-fight because he needed to get out more roaches, and that allowed him to hold off the fight, or allowed him to hold off the push, but that +2 will now be delayed, and it will now be contaminated.
Yeah. Probably see that happen in just a second as well for Hydra. That's why that Overseer was pushed away by that Queen, because he knows it's about to happen. He's actually got 2 Overseers for this purpose, so you can pretty much constantly do it. It's really smart. I've seen this actually more and more and more often recently. Hydra's losing so much time on that +2. And, I mean, the supplies are really similar here. The economy is very similar as well. Nothing's really going to change until these two have an engagement.
Yeah. The biggest difference really is in the 20 lings that Impact has.
Yeah.
That's where he gets that little bit of extra army supply. But besides that, basically even.
And, you know, Impact doesn't have burrow movement. So it's a bit tough to utilize burrow movement until you open any extra paths on this map, but that's something that's missing. Definitely hurts him here a little bit.
Yeah. +2s for both players, getting pretty close to finishing.
I want to point out as well that Impact has mined much less gas and much more minerals than Hydra. Hydra's been more gas focused. He has a big gas bank that isn't really too useful for him right now. I think that's why he's getting the second Evo chamber, so he can get double upgrades at once with some of that gas bank.
He needs somewhere to put that gas.
Yeah.
Because we're seeing Impact be so much more efficient with his minerals here and his gas, and now he's going for an attack. He's basically maxed out, whereas Hydra wasn't able to do just that. Look at all of these roaches coming across the map. Hydra's got a big group of his own.
I don't think he can attack up the ramp, though. I just don't think that'll work. He's going for it. Let's see, man. That's a lot of roaches. He's got a significantly larger roach count here. And he's going in. I believe he has the upgrade advantage as well. Yeah,
yep,
he does. And that's what's actually crushing this for him. He's actually going to just win right here.
It's the contamination, man. You have this many roaches against this many roaches, and having that one upgrade is going to make it so much better for you. GG.
The +2 there for Hydra finished at the end of that fight, but it was too late. It didn't matter. Just 1 or 2 contaminates changed the world, man.
Yeah. Man, Impact changing the world one contaminate at a time here.
Dude. It's changing the way people look at ZVZ forever.
Yeah. Shakes his head. He's like, huh, that was easy.
Seemed that way.
That map is so funny for ZVZ. They're so close to each other and just the non-stop aggression, basically. Like, they had some times where they were building up their armies, yeah, but eventually, like, there's just attack after attack after attack, and it's crazy. It's fast-paced.
Hydra not looking too phased by this, but let's be realistic. This is his last chance. Now, for Hydra, you know, he's got Pro League behind him if he does not qualify here. If he falls to Code B, it's not going to have to, like, wait till next year's GSL or anything like that. But on the other hand, Impact, you know, he doesn't have that on the. But besides that, he does have a lot of team leagues he plays in with his team. Tolobiscuit and his team are, you know, active in a lot of things outside of GSL. But both these guys want to be able to do Pro League and everything else, plus be able to say, I'm in Code S. You know, that would be great for all parties considered. So this isn't a situation like we had earlier with Deer or Ragnarok, where it's like, uh-oh, I don't know what's going to happen to this guy after this. I don't know what he's going to do. Yep. Both on very solid, high-profile teams. KSS, the map pick here for Hydra, wants to play another late-game ZVZ. Does not want to die to any pressure.
Doesn't want to be that close to his opponent.
Definitely does not. Let's jump into this. It could be his last game of this season versus Axiom's